James possessed an enormous dream. It was a vivid, powerful dream that consumed his thoughts. He yearned to build something truly magnificent, something that would leave a mark. He wanted to become a successful entrepreneur, a creator of value. So many people have dreams, don't they? But James was different from the crowd. He was not just a dreamer. He was ready to take massive, decisive action. He felt an unquenchable fire burning deep within his soul. This intense burning fire constantly pushed him forward, urging him to begin. He understood intrinsically that the path ahead would not be a walk in the park, but he was absolutely prepared to face any challenge, any obstacle. He believed with all his heart in the clarity and power of his vision for the future. When James first dared to share his grand ideas with the world, not everyone embraced them. In fact, some people openly laughed at him. They dismissed him as just another naive dreamer, lost in unrealistic fantasies. They advised him to abandon his foolish quests and get a real job, something safe and predictable. These people simply could not see the world through James's eyes. They could not feel the raw intensity of his passion. Their discouraging words could have easily stopped him in his tracks. Their skepticism could have planted seeds of crippling doubt. But James made a conscious choice to listen to the unwavering voice of his heart instead. He knew deep down that his destined path was unique and unconventional. He found himself constantly battling a barrage of doubt from those around him. "You'll never actually make it," they would whisper with condescending certainty. "It's far too risky. You're going to lose everything," they would warn with grave concern. These negative voices were often loud and persistent. Yet James's inner voice, the voice of his conviction, was always louder, always more resonant. He clung to his precious dream with fierce tenacity. He cleverly decided to use their skepticism as a source of fuel for his ambition. He was fiercely determined to prove them all wrong. More importantly, however, he was driven to prove to himself that he was right, that his belief in his own potential was justified. His motivation was a truly powerful force, an unstoppable current. It originated from the very core of his being, a deep well of purpose. He had an insatiable desire to create, to innovate, to build something from nothing. He passionately wanted to make a tangible, positive difference in the world. He vividly envisioned a future where his innovative ideas actively helped people and improved their lives. This compelling vision was his constant companion. It was his why. As the great Simon Sinek often says, start with why. James intimately knew his why. This profound sense of purpose served as his unshakable anchor in the turbulent storm of negativity and doubt that surrounded him. With boundless hope and infectious enthusiasm, James launched his very first business venture. It was a small, ambitious online store, his first foray into the entrepreneurial world. He courageously poured every last penny of his hard-earned savings into this new project. He dedicated himself completely, working tirelessly day and night, fueled by coffee and dreams. He genuinely believed it was destined to be a massive runaway hit. However, reality delivered a harsh blow. Sales were disappointingly slow, almost non-existent. Customers, the lifeblood of any business, simply did not arrive. Tragically, the business failed within a mere 6 months of its launch. He lost all his invested money. He felt a profound, crushing sense of deep disappointment. It was an incredibly hard, yet valuable lesson. The sting of this initial failure hit him incredibly hard. He momentarily felt like a complete failure himself, as if the business's fate was a reflection of his own worth. For a fleeting, dark moment, he seriously considered that perhaps the doubters had been right all along. Maybe, just maybe, he wasn't truly cut out for the demanding world of entrepreneurship. The pain of this realization was palpable and real. But then, in that moment of despair, he vividly remembered his dream. He recalled the very reason why he had embarked on this challenging journey in the first place. He resolutely told himself, failure is not the end of your story. It is simply a powerful opportunity to learn and grow stronger. He made the courageous decision to pick himself up and try once more. He knew with absolute certainty that he had to get back up on his feet. His second entrepreneurial attempt was a local community-focused delivery service. He truly believed that he had absorbed the crucial lessons from his first unfortunate mistake. He diligently conducted much more thorough market research this time around. He meticulously planned every single detail with great care. But then an unforeseen challenge emerged on the horizon. A large, well-funded competitor aggressively entered the same market. They possessed significantly more financial backing and far greater resources than James could ever muster. James found himself unable to effectively compete against such a formidable opponent. Consequently, his second business venture also had to close its doors, 2 consecutive failures. It was an incredibly tough pill to swallow. He acutely felt the immense weight of repeated defeat pressing down on him. Close friends and concerned family members began to express their worries openly. "Maybe this whole entrepreneurship thing just isn't for you, James," they would say, their voices tinged with genuine care and concern. Their apprehension was understandable and came from a place of love. But James, ever the optimist, perceived these setbacks from a different vantage point. He remembered the inspiring words of Thomas Edison, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each successive failure imparted invaluable wisdom. He learned critical lessons about effective marketing strategies. He gained insights into navigating fierce competition. Most importantly, he cultivated profound resilience. He was steadily, though painfully, gathering the necessary tools and experiences for his next courageous attempt. After 6 consecutive businesses had tragically failed, most ordinary people would have undoubtedly given up. Imagine the weight of that. 6 times James had poured his entire heart, his precious time, and his limited financial resources into ventures that ultimately crumbled into dust. The chorus of ridicule from onlookers had grown noticeably louder with each new attempt. "There he goes again, chasing another impossible dream," people would snidely remark, often shaking their heads in disapproval or pity. James acutely felt the sharp sting of their dismissive words. He felt the bone-deep exhaustion that comes from repeated soul-crushing defeat. And yet, despite all of this, something deep inside his spirit stubbornly refused to surrender. He still held on to a flicker of belief. He somehow knew, with an unexplainable intuition, that he was getting closer to his breakthrough. For his 7th business venture, James made a strategic decision to try something entirely different, a fresh approach. He had painstakingly learned so much from his extensive catalogue of past mistakes. This time, he chose to focus his energy on a niche market that he was genuinely, deeply passionate about: eco-friendly and sustainable pet supplies. He masterfully combined his burning passion with the hard-won business knowledge he had accumulated over the years. He started deliberately small on a manageable scale. He meticulously managed his operational costs with extreme care. Crucially, he actively listened to his potential customers, gathering their feedback even before officially launching his products. This time, he felt a distinctly different kind of energy surrounding the project, a quiet, steady confidence that was new and empowering. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, things began to shift in a positive direction. His 7th business, born from passion and perseverance, started to gain real traction in the market. The first few tentative sales trickled in, bringing a wave of relief. Then a few more followed, and then even more. He began receiving overwhelmingly positive feedback from his early customers. They absolutely loved his thoughtfully curated products. They deeply resonated with his company's admirable mission of sustainability. For the very first time in his long entrepreneurial journey, James saw a tangible, undeniable glimmer of real, sustainable success. It wasn't a sudden, explosive, overnight sensation. Instead, it was a gentle, steady, and consistently growing light. He felt a cautious, burgeoning joy coupled with a profound sense of much-needed validation. This initial taste of small success felt absolutely monumental to James. It was the concrete proof he had desperately needed for so long. It was the undeniable evidence that he wasn't crazy for pursuing his dreams against all odds. It was the powerful confirmation that his unwavering persistence could and indeed would eventually pay off. He found himself working harder than he ever had before in his life, but this time the nature of the work felt entirely different. It was now fueled by tangible, positive results and customer appreciation, not just by blind hope and sheer willpower. He wisely reinvested every single penny he earned right back into strengthening and growing the business. He carefully and strategically expanded his product line. The once loud voices of ridicule began to quiet down, replaced by a curious, watchful silence. People were definitely starting to pay attention. The significant turning point in James's journey was abundantly clear. It was not attributable to a single isolated factor. Rather, it was a powerful confluence of several crucial elements working in harmony. James's unshakable, unwavering resilience was undoubtedly a key component. He steadfastly refused to allow his past failures to define him or his future. He diligently learned valuable lessons from every single mistake, every setback. He continuously adapted and refined his strategies with each new attempt. He became a more astute, more capable businessman with each experience. Furthermore, he finally understood the immense power of genuine passion. His seventh business venture was deeply aligned with his personal values and beliefs. This inherent authenticity strongly resonated with his customers, building trust and loyalty. His arduous journey stands as a powerful testament to the incredible power of human perseverance. As the great Winston Churchill once profoundly stated, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. James truly embodied this extraordinary courage in every fiber of his being. He faced down relentless ridicule from his peers and community. He endured significant financial hardship that would have broken lesser spirits. He confronted crushing, soul-deep disappointment time and time again. Yet, through it all, he kept going forward. He kept believing in his dream and in himself. He kept working with unrelenting dedication. His inspiring story vividly demonstrates that setbacks are often just setups for magnificent comebacks. You must believe this for yourself. The very same people who had once openly laughed at James and his ambitions now looked at him with newfound respect and admiration. They had witnessed his incredible hard work firsthand. They saw his unyielding determination in the face of adversity. They ultimately saw his undeniable, hard-earned success. He transformed into a true inspiration within his local community and beyond. He powerfully showed everyone that cherished dreams are indeed worth fighting for, no matter the obstacles. He definitively proved that failure is not an endpoint, but merely a stepping stone on the path to greatness. His remarkable journey from being an object of ridicule to a figure of deep respect was finally complete. He had earned every bit of it. James's incredible story imparts a profoundly powerful lesson for every single one of us. Never ever give up on your dreams, no matter how distant they may seem. Understand that failure is an integral and unavoidable part of the process of achieving anything worthwhile. It is not the opposite of success, it is an essential ingredient of success. You must learn to embrace your failures, actively learn from them, allow them to mold you and make you stronger, more resilient. If you keep pushing forward, if you remain steadfastly resilient in the face of challenges, you too can transform your failures into valuable stepping stones. You too can achieve your own unique version of magnificent success. Your breakthrough might be just one more courageous try away. Keep going.